Hello, Michael Swain here, not coming to you after a basketball or football game, but coming on to you after a big commitment for Kansas. Emmanuel Henderson Jr. commits to the Jayhawks, and you're going to join me as I go on a little bit of a morning walk here. I'm on the West Coast visiting some family for Christmas. And of course, if you've been following us on the message board, you know that when I leave the house, commitments happen. And of course, out of the house for when Emmanuel Henderson Jr., the news comes out that he has signed with Kansas, and this is a big addition for KU, and one that you look at the wide receiver class and things are starting to come into focus. Big picture, 3 wide receiver commits, a good spot for KU to be in as they go into the dead period. No visits between now and January 1st, and it's going to be a period where, I think it's going to be a little quiet, but this is I think probably the right way to go into this period with a commitment like this. For KU, it adds another high ceiling player to the roster. Henderson was a top 100 player coming out of high school, a guy that played running back, moved to wide receiver at Alabama, earned special team snaps, played in 13 games as a true freshman, 9 games as a sophomore, and then played in every game this past year. And look, I think you can look at the stats and say he's got 5 catches for under 100 yards. It's not super remarkable, but at the end of the day, too, you can look at it and say he was wide receiver 4 at Alabama. Alabama's got maybe the best, one of the top 5 duos in college football, and they don't play a lot of 3 wide receiver sets. Watching at least a couple games, it looks like they do a lot of 1 tight end, 2 tight end stuff, and so there's not a ton of snaps there, and so didn't play a lot. But for KU, you look at his size on tape, you go to the Georgia game, look at some of the plays he made, and you just look at what he looks like. He looks like the right type of guy that can fit for KU and can go out there and be a physical player in the Big 12. He's got the athleticism. Like, you put him on a football field in the SEC and he looks the part, and he will very much look the part in Lawrence for KU on this roster. And so will it work out? I don't know. He's got 1 more year left. I've seen a report out there he's got 2. I don't know how that's possible when he's played in over 9 games in every season. So he hasn't redshirted. He has a redshirt season technically. Obviously, he's being brought in to start and to help Jalen Daniels and this Kansas offense get back to, what we saw, I think, in 2023 and 2022. And look, I think the numbers still show that the offense was good this past year. But they're going to try and take it up another level, and this is a great weapon, I think, to have. And you look at the schools KU beats, too. Visits K-State after KU. He goes to Virginia, Penn State, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, UCF. Those are all the schools that were vying to either get him on campus or got him on campus. And so, this was a guy that was coveted, and Kansas is able to get him because of, I think, the role. I think having Jalen Daniels back is big. And then look, revenue sharing, NIL, all that stuff, right? Kansas can go out and, I think, compete. And that's a big thing. Now, will it be to the level of being able to get a bunch of kids like this for an entire class? No. Well, you've seen that. But I think for the most part, it shows you that Kansas can, at times, go out and get big guys like this. So for KU now, you look at it, you got Cam Pickett from Ball State, a productive wide receiver. You got Levi Wentz from Albany, productive wide receiver. You got 2 productive guys, and you go out and get a high ceiling guy in Emmanuel Henderson. And I think it looks pretty good. I think KU probably needs 1 more. We'll keep you covered on who's going to be that guy to watch. We'll probably have an update on the VIP board here later today in a couple hours probably of what it's going to look like and how it's probably going to play out. But for KU now, you're looking at the class. It's, 16 players total, I want to say. And that's a pretty good spot to be in, considering the fact that, KU lost, 30 seniors, and they need to fill. How many scholarships was it? It was over 30. So, it's a point in time now with Kansas where this offense, you can start to see come together. You see the running back in LaShawn Williams. Daniel Highshaw probably is going to be back. And now you look at the offense that's starting to come into focus. And now I think there's still some positions left where KU's got to do better. They got to go out and get, another offensive lineman, probably another wide receiver. Defensively, there's still some needs, and obviously we'll keep you covered on all that. But, for KU right now, this is it's a solid transfer class. I think top to bottom, it is solid. Is it incredible, remarkable? I don't know. I think it's solid. You got players from group of 5 teams that are productive, that are joining the team. That's big. Getting proven Power 4 production costs a lot of money, and so I think KU and a lot of Big 12 schools are still in the point where I don't think they have that kind of capital to go out and buy those types of players consistently to fill out a class. You can do it occasionally, but not consistently. So those are my thoughts. I think obviously for KU, it's going to be a different team next year, and I'm excited to see what that looks like, because it's just going to be different, right? Take the wide receiver room, for example. You watch the same 3 guys for what, the last 3 years? Now you're going to see something different. I think that's a totally different landscape, I think, for this offense, and it's going to provide something different. And different, it can be good, it can be fun. We'll have to see how that plays out, but I think so far for KU, this has been a solid transfer class. As always, we'll keep you covered with everything going on at fog.net. Still 50% off through the new year. I think January 1st is the last day, or January 2nd is the last day. So make sure you check that out. Get 50% off a VIP subscription. We'll keep you covered on everything with the transfer portal, KU football, KU basketball, high school recruiting. That's still a thing too. So we'll keep you covered with all of it. But thanks always for checking in. Hope everyone has a great Christmas, Hanukkah, holidays, whatever you celebrate. Hopefully we're able to do it with some loved ones around. So thanks as always for watching. We'll talk to you all again soon.